I would like to be an artist when I grow up.
When I grow up, I want to be a bug scientist. When I grow up, I want to be a break dancer because I like the choreography that they do.
When I grow up, I want to be a Marine to protect our country.
Kids, they're filled with hope, promise, love. But sometimes it seems as if the modern world is working to take away their peace of mind, the innocence and security we once took for granted, and with it, childhood itself.
Before I came to KidsPeace, things were rough.
Before I came to KidsPeace, I was in the hospital for 6 months.
But I came here, I came here real, I was still in the street mentality, you know what I'm saying? It was
Abuse, drugs, violence, and disasters, natural and man-made, are taking a toll on our children and robbing them of the one thing we all hold most dear, the chance to just grow up and be a kid. Fortunately, in a world that sometimes seems to be at war with the futures of our children, there is one organization that has been working for over a century to give kids peace.
When children come to KidsPeace, they feel fearful and alone and neglected. You can imagine how it would be, how frightening it would be to be a child who's been abused or neglected or has some sort of chemical imbalance that they don't understand. And when they come to KidsPeace, the caring staff give all that they can to give kids peace.
I think it's one of the best things that could ever happen to a kid if they're going in the wrong direction, because they can teach you what you're doing wrong.
Somebody's always there to help you no matter what. Even if somebody has a bad day, they're there to talk to you.
I learned to have respect for myself, respect for others, how to cook.
KidsPeace, the National Center for Kids Overcoming Crisis, was born in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania back in 1882. A deadly smallpox epidemic, which left hundreds of orphans with no one to care for them, inspired William Thurston, the president of Bethlehem Steel, to create a place of hope, of help, and of healing for children in the charity's early years. Through 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and all the events of the 20th century, KidsPeace served children in crisis, kids whose families had been devastated by tragedy, disease, or the cruel grip of poverty.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah.
Today, KidsPeace helps thousands of children a day at more than 50 centers across the nation. Children whose lives have been set adrift by very different circumstances. Today, the major threat no longer consists of physical threats like smallpox as it did in 1882. Or polio as it did in the 1940s and 50s. Now the threat is more deadly, and perhaps even more insidious. Dr. Jonas Salk, the famed polio vaccine pioneer who saved a generation of children and founded the KidsPeace Lee Salk Center for Research, put it this way in a KidsPeace message to Congress.
At that time, the great threat was crippling of the body. And we found that there was a way to prevent that. I would say that now, the principal problem that we're confronted with is the crippling of the minds of children.
Luckily, KidsPeace is helping many children who thought they were alone before arriving at our doors, and whose spirits and very lives would have been destroyed.
You know, before I came to KidsPeace, I felt kind of out of touch. I didn't really have anybody to help me. You know, I was pretty much on my own. I had to do things for myself. I had to work. I couldn't really hold a job.
When I came to KidsPeace, I came from a difficult situation. I lived in a not so great area, and I didn't have much of a family base. A lot of the people I lived with who were family members were into drugs and, you know, hung around with not so nice people.
Because of KidsPeace, thousands of children like these find comfort and a helping hand at schools, in communities and in centers across the country. Centers with teams of dedicated staff and world-class facilities that tell kids that someone cares. Whether in our residential programs, where children live and learn, our nationwide foster care services, where children get more than just a loving home, they also get trained support to help them overcome terrible traumas from the past, to our community-based services, helping children and families in their own homes, right up to the renowned KidsPeace Children's Hospital. For the most severe cases of child trauma, the aim is simple: to give the best to kids who have been through the worst.
Heaven help the boy who never had a home. Heaven help the girl who walks the streets alone. And heaven help the roses if the bombs begin to fall. Lord, won't you help us all?
When a child comes into KidsPeace, they are in crisis and they need help. Often, KidsPeace is a last stop for children who need the help of caring adults. It's so gratifying to see the staff at KidsPeace work with that child, work with their family, and help those kids develop in school, at home, emotionally and physically. And when a child leaves KidsPeace, they're a new person. They're changed in a positive way. The staff at KidsPeace work hard to give kids peace.
This is the story of a light of the world, hope of the ages, lost in the glory.
KidsPeace has absolutely helped me 100%. I was a different person when I got here, and I changed for the better.
I'm not the same person when I first came here, and I want to stick to how I am now for the rest of my life.
I feel that KidsPeace has actually saved my life.
In the century plus since KidsPeace opened, there have been more than 100,000 stories like these. Stories of courage, overcoming, and success.
I came here and like I was a whole wreck, like I was a mess. Now I'm together.
But KidsPeace's mission doesn't stop at our campus doors. Supported by renowned figures such as Jonas Salk, Lee Salk, Harvard's Dr. Alvin Poussant, Brown University child development pioneer Dr. Louis Lipset, U.S. Congressman Charlie Dent, and TV and radio personality Lisa Gibbons, KidsPeace has reached out in times of need to America during 9/11, to England following the terror bombings there, and after natural disasters like Hurricane Ivan and Hurricane Katrina. KidsPeace's award-winning website, TeenCentral.net, helps children successfully tackle and overcome the common dangers of growing up.
For many years, KidsPeace has relied on the charity and the generosity of people who give of their money to help kids and to help KidsPeace serve kids. KidsPeace needs the help of donors and the charitable giving that has been keeping KidsPeace going for 125 years.
They come in here very troubled, very scared. It's kind of the end of the line for them. And we give them unconditional love. We accept them right where they are. We don't expect anything from them the moment they arrive. We provide food for them, bed to sleep in, guidelines, and they turn into kids like yours and mine.
They actually tell me that my writings actually mean something, that like what I do is something purposeful.
We help them to realize that they're very valuable.
I learned how to read in here. I didn't know how to read before I came to KidsPeace.
Since I came to KidsPeace, I've been doing a lot better in school. I'm near the top of my class and I'm graduating next year and going on to college. I've got pretty much a full ride, so I'm getting a lot of scholarships.
One of the best minds in the child care field, a specialist in the fields of Asperger's syndrome and other childhood crises, is KidsPeace child and adolescent psychiatrist Dr. Larry Dumont.
I think what makes KidsPeace so special is the real commitment and concern for the welfare and well-being of children. We have a very devoted staff.
I came to KidsPeace because my life mission is to serve kids. Serving kids, especially in today's world, is really critically important. Kids face crises that we didn't know when we were growing up. There's a firestorm of problems out there with drugs and gangs and violence that we didn't have to that level when we were children.
People like Dr. Dumont, Nurse Anderson, and nearly 3,000 KidsPeace professionals make it possible for children to repair the hurt of the past and move on to successful new lives, the lives they should have had to begin with.
I would like being an artist because, well, I'm not sure, but usually they make a lot of money selling their paintings and...
Horses! I am excited about bugs. When I grow up, I want to be a break dancer because I like the choreography that they do. And I'm very excited because I can't wait to be one.
Now say it in German.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know how to say it in German.
My dad's a Marine and I want to grow up to be just like him.
In a world that sometimes feels at war with the future of our children, we all need to give kids peace.